Piccolo needed to be better, bro. You can't be an Annie left and already. How are you an Annie left, but you already out the way of top 10? How you between number 8 to 10 while you're on boost, bro? How is that possible? Like, bro, for any left, you should be contending for top 5. Like the Gammas, any left, contending for top 5. Go Frieza, any left. Piccolo is a regular Sparky. That's exactly what he is. Alright, boys, I'm back. First up, Piccolo looks pretty good. Defined pretty good. Because I fought 14-star Piccolo before. I actually did a first to 5 against a 14-star Piccolo last night. So I'm very versed when it comes to 14-star Orange Piccolo. I also fought Diallo's 9-star Piccolo in ranked. I fought Seth's 10-star Piccolo in ranked. So I'd say I'm pretty versed in Orange Piccolo at this point. It's day 2 so far of the anniversary, part 2. Piccolo just came out, the Gammas came out. Now the consensus for the Gammas is that the Gammas are way better than Piccolo, which is a fact. That the Gammas are in contention for a top 5 spot in the game, while Piccolo is at the lower end of top 10, possibly soon to be pushed out post boost. You know what I'm saying? So that's pretty much where Piccolo lies at this point. Now, like I said last night, I fought Diallo 9 games against 14-star Piccolo, and I will not lie, Chad. He did impress me. I can't lie, he did impress me. But in saying that, his position on my tier list would not change. Like, it would not change at all. So me and Diallo were talking about how they could fix Piccolo, because it's clear that Piccolo, if anything, Piccolo is more deserving of buffs than part 1 Go Frieza before they got buffed, right? And for those who are saying that, oh, just run Piccolo on regen, he doesn't need any buffs, I can say the same thing about Go Frieza. Put him on LOE and then you need no buffs. So it's clear that this unit is at the lower end of top 10. He's not in contention at all whatsoever. So here's my biggest issue with Orange Piccolo, boy. It's like he doesn't have an identity, I feel like, other than being Kid Boo's sidekick, giving him green cards. Like, other than that, I don't really see him doing that much. I feel like the biggest issue with him is that his gauge is absolutely terrible. His gauge is easily one of the worst gauges in the game by far. Like, his gauge is so bad. One time only, you get 20% health back. That's the blue card damage. I can feel that. I noticed that. It's actually really nice. Minus R scores for his blue card. Nullifies own unfavorable element factors for 15 timer counts. Cancels own normal conditions. Destroy all cards. You just keep at 50. Take away 1 Dragon Ball. Seal army for 10 timer counts. This right here is basically a worse version of Ultra Broly's gauge. At least Ultra Broly's gauge, it forces you to swap out. You get no vanish. 100% vanish removal, it's gone. You have to swap out. So Ultra Broly forces the opponent to use up their swaps and mess up their rotation. He doesn't force me to do anything. Like, if I pop his gauge, reduce key by 50, who cares? Like, he doesn't reduce my key recovery. He doesn't reduce my key recovery at all. So once he takes my 50 key away, I'm gonna get key back pretty quickly. Destroy all cards. A bunch of units have card draw speed, 2 times card draw speed. Like, moving cards isn't gonna do anything other than like just halt a combo for a bit. Nullifies own unfavorable element factor for 15 timer counts. This right here is my issue with Piccolo the most. My issue with Piccolo is that you don't get to control when you, the player, get your element unfavorable element factor thingy. You don't get to control that. The opponent gets to dictate when you get your offensive type neutral. Now, a good thing about Piccolo is that he has a lot of defensive neutral, but I like that a lot. Defensive neutral, reduce card draw speed and everything on cover change. He has decent defensive tools, but offensively, like, you need some form of type neutral. Kid Buu cannot have that, because Kid Buu is so ahead of Piccolo, it's not even funny. But Piccolo, as a left unit, bro, I feel like he really needed that. Even the Gammas have that. The Gammas are a yellow unit, but at least they have 3 counts of type neutral per switch to do some work against Reds. Piccolo doesn't have that at all, bro. I feel like that's really bad. And his gauge being activated 1 time only is not good, like, whatsoever. Honestly, the biggest thing that I can realize about Piccolo is that his blue card damage is great, but other than that, he doesn't really do anything. He can't really tank. He's a good Rose stopper for sure. I like him against Rose. I mean to paralyze. He reduces car draw speed. I like that a lot. But other than that, he doesn't really do too much to like have an identity in the match. I feel like his revival, whatever, like revival doesn't really affect me personally because I can just rising rush in neutral anyway and just rising rush when somebody's attacking. So it doesn't really affect me that much as like a rush control. But he just doesn't do enough, and I feel like his green card is also not that great. I feel like counter greens are the worst green cards in the game. AoE green cards are better, time stop green cards are better, long range green cards are better, and then you have counter green cards. I feel like counter green cards are the worst greens in the game because it's easier to use those other greens to get priority in neutral than getting a counter green card off. Like keep it at 50, 10% damage up, he gets cover null. That's good, like. But bro, like this needs to lock in or something else. This needs to lock in or something else, bro. Because just getting cover null for free isn't enough. I feel like a lock in or something else needed on this. And I feel like they should have either honed in fully on his offense or just honed in fully on his defense, bro. That's the issue. People gas up revive too much. Yeah, I agree. Honestly, I was saying this in our Discord the other day. I feel like I would rather have Kid Buu or 17's endurance effect than having revival. What do you guys think, Chad? I deadass think that I would rather have the uncancelable endurance over revival, bro. I'm sorry, like revival isn't what it used to be. It's not what it used to be, bro. It's just not what it used to be anymore. Like I don't see revival as like rush control anymore, personally. Having uncancelable endurance is phenomenal. Pre-revive are given stats wise, exactly that too. Like they give them pre-revive. Like who cares? I'd rather have one full complete unit than half a unit in revive and then he becomes a full unit post revive. Like that's just to me personally. But yeah, I think the biggest way they could make Piccolo better is just making his gauge better. Like, if his gauge actually had an impact on a game, I really wish that they made his gauge better, bro. I really wish that they made his gauge a good gauge, because this gauge is terrible. They should have made his gauge a better version of Ultra Bully's gauge, bro. You should have had the vanishing move. You should have like locked in as well, because they all get that suggestion that he should have like locked in for like 3 top account or something on gauge activation. Like either have it be fully defensive or let it be fully offensive, bro. And also give him time neutral on his main ability. Give him time neutral on his main ability, bro. Like look at this main. Like what is this main, bro? 3 lines. 3 lines. I have no idea, bro. I generally have no clue. 3 lines, bro. Like come on. Like he needed more on his main ability. Like give him time neutral. Give him extra cut pen. Give him more shit, bro. Please, thank you. Boot Electron's gauge is even better. I guess those 2 both suck ass. I can't lie. Those 2 both suck ass. But he has one of the worst gauges in the game for sure. We should have made his gauge better. But he's decent. I mean, he's not horrific. When he came out, who came out? Trunks. I mean, Trunks, when he came out, had a better gauge for sure. When he came out, for sure, a better gauge. When he came out. But agent-wise, defensive gauges don't really work that well. The only defensive gauge I like is Ultra Bullies, simply because it takes away your Vanish completely. So you have to swap. You have no choice but to swap, bro. Alright, Piccolo is good. I mean, a top 10 unit's good, but for any left, like, the bias towards Gold Frieza is so damning to me. Why? Okay, hold on. Why is Gold Frieza like the any LF? Like that's the any LF, but Piccolo isn't. Like Piccolo is the part 2 headliner along with the Gammas. Why is because the logo, bro? Like gacha game developers shouldn't have a bias to certain units to this extent, because obviously we know that the devs love Teen Gohan and they hate Super Saiyan 3 Gokus. But like the Gold Frieza bias is absolutely insane, bro. Truly. They fixed all the bugs in 2 weeks, while Purple Piccolo, it took a year for him to get his fix. Then they go ahead and buff a top 5 unit. Like, come on, bro. It took so long for them to fix Purple Piccolo's slice by adding a simple 0 to it. And they gave Go Frieza all the fixes in like 2 weeks, bro. It's crazy. That's crazy. But yeah, I feel like Piccolo's just not that great. They need to buff him. Like, they need to. Is he already fixed? I don't think so. I'm not sure. Piccolo needed to be better, bro. You can't be an Annie left and already. How are you an Annie left, but you already out the way of top 10? How you between number 8 to 10 while you're on boost, bro? How is that possible? Like, bro, for Annie left, you should be contending for top 5. Like the Gammas, Annie left, contending for top 5. Go Frieza, Annie left. Piccolo is a regular Sparky. That's exactly what he is.